My son, my daughter, you are tired. I see it. You carry a weight inside you that words cannot explain. There are days when you wake up next to the one you love and still feel alone. I know that pain. I know the silence that lives between couples, the eyes that no longer search for each other, the hands that share the same table but no longer touch with tenderness. But today, I invite you to hear something different. Not a demand, not a rule, but a holy invitation. The love I planted in the world was not meant to be lost in exhaustion. It was meant to be a safe harbor, and you who are listening to me now were called to be just that, the refuge of the one you love. When I climbed the mountain and spoke to the people, I didn't say, "Be strong." I said, "Blessed are the meek, the comforters, the ones who hunger for righteousness, the pure in heart." Because I knew those who truly love don't fight to be right. They fight to keep the other in peace. Let me tell you a story the Father showed me. A simple man, 69 years old, walked 3 kilometers every day to the house of his sick wife, even after their separation. He brought her warm bread, fruit, blankets. She had Alzheimer's and no longer recognized him. A neighbor came close and asked, "Why do you keep coming here if she has forgotten everything?" And he replied, "Because love remembers for 2. Ah, how my heart rejoices when I see this kind of faithfulness. It honors me more than 1,000 prayers, because that is exactly how I love you. Even when you forget me, I keep coming back. So I ask you, have you been that safe harbor, or have you been the storm to someone who only wanted shelter? Many ask me for healing, for restoration in their marriage, their relationship, their family, but they forget to love as I loved. I didn't love with words alone. I loved with bread, with my gaze, with presence. I loved by washing feet and even giving my life. Love is not about demanding, it is about serving. Have you been serving the one you love, or are you waiting for them to change first? Don't wait for your house to collapse to start rebuilding it. Love doesn't die from a single blow. It dies in indifference, in absence, in "I'll deal with it later." And when you wake up, it's already too late. But today, I tell you, there's still time. There is still a way back. My love specializes in resurrecting what the world has declared dead. And you? Will you let that love die, or will you fight for it as I fought for you? Do you know why so many couples drift apart? It's not because of betrayal or lack of love. It's because one day, without even noticing, they stopped being each other's safe harbor. What was once shelter became criticism. What was once peaceful silence turned into distance, and what was once a promise became a burden. I see this every day. People who once swore eternal love now avoid touching each other on the couch. They say good morning, but no longer share their hearts. You might be thinking, but I didn't do anything wrong. And that's exactly the point. Sometimes it's not what you did. It's what you stopped doing, the gesture you withheld, the affection you never gave, the hug your partner needed, and you didn't see. A safe harbor is not the one who shouts, "I love you," on beautiful days. It's the one who stays when everything else falls apart. And I was the first to show you that. Remember? When everyone else ran, I stayed. When you sinned, I kept calling your name, my son, my daughter. Maybe you're tired of trying. Maybe you believe you've done enough. But love isn't a task you finish. It's a daily mission. It's looking at the other person with the same tenderness of the first encounter. Even after so many heartbreaks, I never said it would be easy. Loving the way I did has never been easy, but it was, and still is, the only path that transforms, the only path that truly heals. Do you know what wounded many homes? Routine, busyness, the habit of assuming the other will always be there. But no one stays where they don't feel loved. The human heart needs nourishment, and the food of the soul is called genuine presence. I'm not talking about being in the same house. I'm talking about being in the same spirit, the same surrender, the same care. Maybe you're listening and thinking, but I do love that way. Then look again, because those who love must have the courage to ask hard questions. Have you asked the person beside you if they feel welcomed or merely tolerated? Have you tried to be a place of rest or just another burden? Do you pray for this person, or do you only complain about what they are not? I will not give up on you. And today I ask that you don't give up on the love that began with my breath. Do you want things to change? Start by being the shelter. Be the first to step forward. Don't wait to be loved your way. Love the way I did. That moves heaven. That transforms the impossible. And if this video has spoken to you, even if just a whisper deep inside, then be part of what we're building here. Subscribe to this channel. It's not just a button. It's a way of saying, I want to grow in love. I want to learn to love like Jesus. And more than that, tell me in the comments, when was the moment you realized you stopped being someone's safe harbor? Or if you prefer, say this with courage, Jesus, teach me to be a refuge again. That simple sentence could be the beginning heaven has been waiting for from you. Now listen to me with the quiet heart, because what I'm about to tell you can heal not only your relationship, but your entire soul. You were created to love deeply, not in a rush. To love with patience, not with anxiety. To love with presence, not with excuses. Many think love is measured by grand moments, parties, trips, expensive surprises. But I, who have known you since your mother's womb, tell you this. Love is measured in the details no one sees. In the note left on the table, in the silent prayer, in the apology that breaks pride, in the stay with me, even when the day was hard. Being a safe harbor means not letting go of the wheel when the storm hits. Do you know why? Because the one you love also carries fears. They have painful memories. They have a past that still echoes. And when you choose to be their shelter, when you respond with mercy instead of coldness, you are loving the way I love. Maybe right now you look at your relationship and say, it's too far gone, Lord. Maybe the person you love has already given up or even left. But my spirit can make all things new. If you open the door, I will come in. I will sit at the table. I will heal what the world has broken. But never forget, love is a daily decision, not just emotion. It's surrender, not just romance. It's also the cross. And it was on the cross that I loved you to the end. So now allow me to pray for you. Be still. Take a deep breath. I am here. Holy Father, I now ask you for this son, for this daughter who has been carrying the weight of a wounded love. Visit, Lord, the homes that have grown cold. Breathe your wind into hearts that have hardened. Pour balm on the words that hurt. Rebuild, Father, where there was ruin. Restore affection where now there is distrust. Rekindle the flame where only ashes remain. May this child of yours learn to be a shelter, not a shield. May they choose to welcome, not to attack. May they love as you love. May they speak with gentleness, touch with tenderness, and embrace with mercy. And if it is your will, may this relationship bloom again with deeper roots and stronger branches. Amen. And now, my son, my daughter, if these words touched your soul, if this prayer brought tears you didn't even know you were holding, I ask you, stay here with me. Subscribe to this channel, not for vanity, but because this space was made for souls who want to love the way I did. And more than that, open your heart in the comments. Tell me, what did you learn from this video? What part made you take a deep breath and say, that was for me? Share your story, your new beginning, your pain, your hope, because here we are, a community that listens, embraces, prays, and walks together. And remember, you were created to be the place where love finds rest. And if until today you haven't been that, it's okay. True love knows how to forgive and begin again. I am with you, and I will still show you how deeply it's worth it to love as I loved.